Today we're going to be talking about Escape Room. Escape Room is very interesting, and it's also kind of disappointing at the same time. Both movies are interesting and disappointing, but the better of the two is the first one. The second one is not as good. If I were to make a comparison of what the Escape Room movies are, they're basically like, what if we combined Saw with the Hunger Games, and we had an escape room or something as the actual setting, the backdrop. Well, that is an interesting idea. It is an interesting idea, but it falls apart in execution in both films, especially near the halfway point. Now, the first escape room that we actually see in the movie Escape Room, which is the actual waiting area, which actually turns into a furnace that they have to figure out how to escape. That's a good room. The second room, the ice room, that's also a pretty decent idea. It's a good puzzle, and then everybody had to work together to figure things out. And then the third room, which is the upside-down room where the ceiling is dropping, because the ceiling's the floor, but the floor is dropping out, the ceiling's dropping out, yada yada. That's also a great room. But after that, the story and the rooms fall apart. In the Tournament of Champions, we have maybe two rooms that are very, very interesting. The first room is okay. It's not the best. It's very fast-paced, and that's an issue that's more of an issue with the actual movie than the actual story itself, the room itself. The movie is about 20 minutes shorter than Escape Room 1. Things are very on rails, things are very rushed, things are very rapid-paced. Everybody's rushing from room to room to room because we just don't have time to do everything, and that's a problem. You need to give this room time to breathe. You need to give us time to breathe in these rooms. You need to give time to look at the puzzles and maybe have the audience interact as well and try to figure things out as well while the characters are figuring things out. You have to let it breathe. If you don't let it breathe, it's not going to work. And ultimately, it falls apart because you wouldn't let it breathe. Now, the first movie I ended up watching a couple years ago, and it was actually very entertaining to me. I still thought that the rooms fell apart after the upside-down room, and all of the escape rooms after that were just rushed through for plot, because they're rushing to get to the end of the movie, probably because they spent too much time on the first half of the movie. But honestly, I would argue that if you just added an extra 20 minutes to this movie, you could have given more time to those other rooms that you kind of rushed through. And this one, I would argue, needs an extra 20 to 30 minutes as well, so it doesn't feel as rushed. I also learned that there's another cut of this movie that has a very different ending, and I prefer that other cut than the version that I picked up here. There are two very different versions of Escape Room Tournament of Champions that I do admit that the other one with the other shot ending with a different person that our character meets up with, there's a different person there that she finds instead of somebody else that she finds in this one, and I would argue that this one kind of falls apart. It's kind of very cliche. It kind of is very kind of tropey, and it's not as good. It's just not as good. I would say that the surprise person that you meet near the end of the movie should have been that other person and that other shot ending. They definitely did do some reshoots. There was a lot of rewrites apparently, and it just falls apart. And a lot of things that I think were good ideas is that having a tournament of champions in a bunch of other people who survived other nightmare escape rooms would be a good idea on paper. But the way you implement it in this one kind of falls apart. All of these characters who have survived other escape rooms don't really feel like they did survive, especially her. She doesn't feel like she survived an escape room. There's another dude who dies in the first room who also doesn't feel like he survived an escape room. These guys just feel like random people. They feel like random people who The story just tells you that they survived a big escape room process of rooms and all of that stuff, and that's just what you're supposed to accept. You're just supposed to accept that. A couple of the people, like I think this girl right here, she does give off the energy of having survived a room before, but the other ones definitely do not. It's a little bit. Well, all of the new characters, every single one of them, die. Every single one of them. Well, we don't really see bodies of all of them, but they do perish in ways. They leave. And we end the film with the same two survivors of the first room surviving the second one as well. And that is weak. I'm not saying that you should have killed one of the two survivors in this one, but I think that if you're going to introduce a bunch of new characters, you need to flesh them out. Don't just introduce people to kill them off. That's very cheap. That's very boring, even. If you're going to follow a formula, I would say that you have the two characters survive here. Maybe one of them goes missing, one of them survives, and one of the new characters introduced here survives. And those two go into the third movie to get back that other survivor or something. That would have been a good idea. I think that would have been a good idea. But the way that these movies were implemented, they do kind of feel like they're riding out of the seat of their pants kind of energy. It's riding off the seat of their pants kind of energy. It's like they made this movie without realizing they're going to do a sequel. Even though it sets up a sequel, it doesn't feel like the sequel that you were expecting. And at the end of this movie, we have a scene where they set up an airplane escape room, right? And then this movie happens, and the whole movie is basically them trying to get her on the airplane so that they could do the airplane escape room. And she doesn't want to get on a plane. She apparently has a fear of flying, and she chickened out on going on the plane at the last minute that she said she was going to go on at the end of the first movie. So the whole second movie is basically just an escape room series that they created just to get her to get on a plane to do another escape room challenge. It's very dumb. It's not that. No, I'm sorry. It's not something I really. No, I'm sorry. I like the twists, I like the turns, I like the ideas. It's just not good execution. They're very entertaining movies. Both movies are very entertaining. It's just it doesn't hold the reality. The rooms don't hold together. There are a lot of good ideas in both films. I like the bank room, the bank puzzle in this movie. It's really good. I like the beach room in Escape Room 2. I like that one as well. And I really love the upside down room. I love the frozen room and the heat room at the start. I love that. Those are good ideas. Those are good executions. It's just, you need to stick the landing. You need to get some more runtime in there. You need to get some more character writing. You need to flesh them out. And you need to not be a cliche, oh, let's kill off every single new character, because why not? They're just there to die. That's kind of boring. That's kind of the cheap way out. That's the easy way out. The production quality in these movies are good. They're pretty decent, right? These aren't Friday the 13th movies where we just expect all of the new characters to die out because Jason's here to slash them all to pieces. It's not like that. It's not that cheap. There's actual production going on here, so you have to actually treat it like it's something that's not Friday the 13th. If you're going to treat it like Friday the 13th, then give it the budget of Friday the 13th. Give it the budget of it. And if you don't want to do that, then actually put some effort into it. That's all I gotta say about escape rooms. I enjoyed the first one. I know I've been ragging on it, but I do enjoy the first one. It's a very good movie. I would watch it again. But the second movie really disappointed me. I really hope the third movie, because I will be checking out the third movie if they make a third movie. I really hope the third movie does better. I really hope it does.